Hello YouTube and welcome to another car vlog. Assuming this video comes out okay. This will be my second, I believe, that I made. I've made a couple since the first, but wow, was the quality bad. Oh my gosh, I had bad settings, bad camera positions, all kinds of stuff. Not great. We're here in the same spot that we did the first video, so we can compare and see the difference. This time I've taken a pretty drastic change to the exposure setting, reduced it by 1 stop, so the outside area here should be of a relatively decent exposure. Probably still overexposed, like, not gonna lie, but less overexposed. I also changed it to 1440p 60 FPS. That's 1440p is the highest frame or highest resolution that I can get 60 FPS. And yeah, I think for the car videos, especially when we have this contrast between like the inside, the outside here, 60 FPS is the right way to go. The 24 FPS just ain't doing it for me. That really works, I think, better when you have, like, you know, the head motion and everything, and it gets like really nice and cinematic and gives you this like great sense of speed. But inside of a car interior, not great, not great. It's just not good. I may try cropping the 1440p down to 1080p. That's a little trick that I've seen other people do when I was researching how to make this a little better. That will allow me to like kind of level things better, because it's almost impossible to get it like perfectly level in camera. It'll allow me to level things better and then give us like a better view like in here, if that makes sense, while also picking like the best spot to do it. No stabilization, that makes no sense when you have the thing like anchored there. Well, if I turned on stabilization, you'd see like the inside of the car moving around a lot, and that's not gonna work at all. Finally, I am trying out my whatever this thing is, H1N microphone. H1N, that's like a virus, isn't it? Well, whatever. I'm trying out my external microphone here. I've had issues with the GoPro, again, the Hero 5 Black. Every so often it does decide to just not record audio, so that's, you know, not great. Also, this microphone should be of a much higher quality, less clipping. Now, to be fair, I'm driving a stock 2022 WRX base model with no, you know, STI exhaust, anything like that, which means that I do not have a whole lot of engine noise or exhaust noise or any kind of noise coming out of this car, which is all right. But yeah, it's a nice little chill ride. Here's where we'll get our first good test of the mic. And our first good test of the camera, because yeah, we're dealing with a lot of dynamic range here. This is always a section of road I always love to drive on the bike. You do always have to remember in this area, this is a residential neighborhood, right? Or it is a neighborhood, it's a residential area. Not the best move. So I've got now 1,939 miles on this car, which is, well, to be honest, not a whole lot. I haven't been driving it a ton. I've been doing a good number of kind of just joyrides with it. I've done some more gravel. Unfortunately, I didn't have a camera for that. I really think I need to get some mud flaps installed before I really do a decent amount of gravel, because I am kind of worried about just absolutely housing this paint. The paint is soft. There's already chips. There's already scratches. It is what you can do after 1,900 miles. I'm assuming if I do keep this car for 100,000 plus miles, I don't know if I will or not, but if I do, I'll probably end up getting it repainted. Whatever, you know. At some point, maybe, when I don't care about keeping the engine's warranty or anything, get in there with some mods and stuff. These cars can make a humongous amount of power without a whole lot of money into them. However, the reason they can do that is E85. So, you know, we don't have an E85 here in the Mid-Atlantic region, at least as far as I'm aware. At gas stations, I should clarify. We don't have an E85 at gas stations. And, yeah, that kind of puts a damper on things a little in terms of, you know, doing something like that. With you're kind of stuck doing something like a 93 octane tune, which in my opinion has its own issues as well. While it is, if you're around here, it's easy to get 93 octane gas. If you go somewhere else, you know, you never know. You might be sitting there going, wait a second, I can only put 91 in this thing. And with the way the car is set up now, it probably won't make great power. It's going to be a little more sluggish. Oh, God. Well, never mind. It's going to be a little more sluggish, but it also, you know, will run. It won't knock. It won't have issues. Whereas if you tune the car specifically for 93, from what I can tell, if you put other forms of gas in it, it's not good. It might not knock, but it's going to pull timing like to hell and back and really run bad. Or at least that's what I heard. I could be completely wrong about that. But I like it stock. I think if I'm going to spend money on the car, which I know I'm going to have to, I'd rather spend the money making the car just enjoyable to drive day to day. And what I mean by that is, like, say when the winter time comes and I still want to drive this thing in the winter, well, I have summer tires on this. So I have to decide, you know, how I want to proceed with that. Do I want to, like, say, throw winter tires on and take the summers off on these stock rims? Do I want to get like a second set of rims? And if I do that, then, you know, what about tire pressure monitoring sensors? You know, what kind of tires do I put on? Here where we live, snow tires don't make a lot of sense, because in the winter months, even in the deep of winter, you're in the middle of February, whatever, where you might have the most snow. Yeah, sometimes we get a ton of snow, and snow tires awesome, but also sometimes we get days that are well above 50 degrees, 60 degrees out of absolutely nowhere, and then it's like, wait a second, if I drive my snow tires around and I want to go somewhere, and now I'm going to ruin my tires because they're going to get too hot and the tread's going to start wearing down really fast. And snow tires are, from what I can tell, they're as much or more than summer tires. So probably like a nice snowy biased all-season tire would be best, right? I mean, it's not going to have that performance in the snow, and I'm not, you know, one of those people who thinks that having a WRX is going to perform well in the snow. No, I mean, this thing's going to perform better than a Mustang, I guess, but really what it comes down to is what tires you put on it, you know? Like that Jeep that just went the other way. That kind of car with the right tires, probably not the ones they had on there, would perform quite well in the snow because it has the ground clearance, right? Four-wheel drive is great for getting started from a stop or navigating a hill at like a lower speed, right? But it's not great necessarily for anything else, right? Like, it's not going to give you better steering performance. It's totally not going to give you better braking. So what four-wheel drive tends to do, I think, for a lot of people, is just gives them false confidence. It's like alcohol, right? It just gives them a false sense of security. It makes them think they can do shit in their car that they really can't do. Because, you know, at least with a rear-wheel drive car, for example, which I've owned, I had an old Lexus LS400. That thing would get really, really sideways, really fast in the snow. And, you know, it teach you to, you know, keep your shit together, you know, not to be a moron. That's the best way I can put it. Here we are back on Georgetown Pike. I really hope this video comes out well. What's going on here? Okay, I'm just gonna kind of cut over quick. It's funny, the more I drive this, people online are like, the first time you really start leaning on the car, you'll realize how slow it is and want to upgrade it. And I'd say that's, at least for me, that's half true. I mean, I knew this car wasn't going to be super fast when I bought it, to be honest, because you're talking about a car that, when you look at people dynoing it, it's making, you know, it's making more than Subaru claims. Let's just put it that way. But at the same time, even let's say on the best of days, you're putting out 245, 250 horsepower to the wheels at 12 PSI boost or something. That's very, I mean, you're talking about at least below, say, 70 or 80 miles an hour. You're talking about like the acceleration levels of like a Ninja 400. You know, something like an R1200 GS or an R6 is going to blow the living shit out of a car like this. And I will say that that's why it's half true. The car is definitely slow compared to, you know, a lot of performance vehicles. However, let's say you upgrade it and you make it go from 245 to 345 wheel horsepower. Is it going to be that much faster? I mean, it's going to be probably a little faster than a Ninja 400 now at lower speeds. And now, definitely, if you start going up above, you know, 80 miles an hour, it's going to hammer any kind of lower end bike like that. However, something like an R1200 GS or a R6 is still going to absolutely smoke the living shit out of a car like this. So it's like, is it worth it? I think for some people, the answer, of course, is yes. You know, what they want is that straight line performance out of their vehicle. That is what they are looking for. You know, that's important to them, and they want it. They want to make this car fast. And to be fair, 350 horsepower is going to make this car pretty fast, even in a straight line. For me, I just don't care. I want something that's got a little bit of pickup. You know, I'm coming from a Ford Fiesta. I literally traded in my Fiesta for this car. And I'm going from a car that makes, I think Ford claimed that it made 120 horsepower. And it felt that slow. I mean, it felt slow as shit for a car like that. I had an old Honda Civic that they claim made like 90 horsepower, 95 horsepower, something like that. And that car felt faster because it was lighter and smaller and just, you know, older. But yeah, the Ford, you know, again, I'm going from a car, I'd say power to weight ratio, you're realistically looking at this thing being double the power to weight. And one of the things that really held back the Fiesta was its front wheel drive system. You know, just the whole thing, the whole drivetrain experience, from front wheel drive, open diff, and just, you know, all season tires. So, and also I would also say, pretty importantly, the stock suspension is very soft, which was honestly nice. The car rode quite well, but that's not great for, you know, power off the line. Like, the thing off the line was not fast. It was so slow off the line. Not really much better once you get up in the second or third gear. Just very slow car. And honestly, I was okay with that. You know, you don't buy a car like a Ford Fiesta and expect it to go fast. Like, come on. Even if you get into like a Fiesta ST, okay, now you're talking about a little bit of performance. Okay, yeah, awesome. But again, at the same time, while it is a performance car, it's not going to blow the doors off of a whole lot of things that are performance cars as well, right? That's the kind of performance car that's going to smoke an economy car, maybe. All right, can I pass this guy safely? Probably not for a little while. Yeah, I just can't see. Yeah, this is what you get. I mean, you want to have fun on the roads? Well, what are you thinking, buddy? I'm talking to myself. All right, is this guy gonna let me by? What's he doing? Is he gonna let me by? I literally can't see. Okay. Thank you. He is going to let me by, so I will take the opportunity. Thank you, sir. I don't mind that kind of thing. Like, yeah, cyclists are annoying, and they hold up traffic, so they can have some fun. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm being a dick. I have no business out here. At least he probably lives around here. I definitely don't. I'm just going out and enjoying these roads. I just want a car to do stuff like this. Get into and out of, lower or medium speed corners with, a little bit of speed. Not a whole lot. Just a little bit is nice. I don't need to blow the doors off things. I don't need a car that can drift, give me like an 8.6 or something. Oh, this will be a good test of the camera here. It's getting dark. The dynamic range is going down significantly. I wonder if it's going to be like too dark here. I think Davinci Resolve is going to be working overtime if I do make this video. We'll see. This is going to be a good test to see if I can really do anything. All right. Let's take it nice and easy here. I don't see anyone coming. All right. Yeah, I just want something that's going to be, fun to cruise around in. All right, I'm going to let this guy go. Here, come on. Is he going to go? He's stopping. Okay. It's so hard to see there, like. Thank you. It's so hard to see there, even at a reasonable speed. What do you gonna do? I'm definitely all over the place. I think what's important for me, though, again, is not having to deal with a bunch of nonsense like that seems to come with tuning a car to a significant degree. Again, I don't think there's anything even remotely wrong with it, and I think you can get it done in a reliable manner. However, I mean, the cost is high. It's definitely high in terms of buy-in, and you're talking about the fact that Subaru's engines are not the most reliable, even stock. And I'm dealing with a brand new engine on this car, right? Being a 2022, this is the first, model year for the, I believe they call it like the FA24T engine, at least in this platform. So it's like, I would like to have some kind of warranty against, issues. And I knew that going in. I'm not like thinking, I'm going to modify the shit out of this car when I bought it. I was really just thinking, I'm going to get something that's a nice kind of sedan. I wanted another sedan like the Fiesta, except with a little more pep and a little more room. And honestly, that's what I got. It's got the base cloth interior, the weird split thing here with the touch HVAC controls. I think I said it before, but honestly, the HVAC controls are like so bad on the higher trim levels. The single display thing with like barely any buttons that are actual buttons is like kind of ridiculous to me. I think the more recent updates have improved the thing pretty significantly, but even still, like one thing that the updates, I did get the latest update as of today in June, early June, and it did significantly improve the Android Auto in terms of connectivity. Before, if you even like looked at this thing, funny, it would disconnect, but now it's like stays connected. It actually stays freaking connected, which is great. So happy about that, because that was actually my biggest annoyance with the car, was that the Android Auto system just wasn't staying connected. Like, I have a good, what am I trying to say? I have a good, cable and everything, but it just wasn't good enough. All right, this is Old Georgetown Pike. Old Dominion, sorry, Old Dominion. So I think I want to turn left here, and start heading back to the Sterling area. And again, another area. Oh, wait a second, that looks bad, but you know what? It's just a school bus. I'll hang out. Y'all gonna hang out with me while I'm behind this school bus? I'd honestly rather go this way and then wait for the light than to mess around. One other change I made also was to plug the camera, the GoPro, into the car. I normally, like when I was riding, I tried plugging the camera into the bike, and that sort of worked, but the way the BMW's charging thing worked was not great, and I just had issues where if I like pulled on it or did anything, like it would fly out and disconnect, and I lost the charger at some point on the road, and I was just like, this is dumb. I'm not going to buy another one. They're not cheap. It's not just like a cigarette port thing. It's like a special thing that not a whole lot of bikes use. So you have to buy, like, you know, a lower volume part. You're not just getting some cheap Chinese one like I got for this. Yeah, we got this guy again. Oh, that's not a school bus. That's a guy in a... Oh, fuck. Oh, no, it is a school bus. Okay. We got the chillins. Yeah, you're just not going to get like a cheap one like I got here. Is this thing still running all right? Yeah. And I noticed, yeah, these higher frame rates and everything. Let me put my hand there. It gets quite hot in the car, and it does drain the battery when you have it plugged in, which I think is pretty normal. Essentially, even the power that's being delivered here can't. It's not enough to keep it going, so it like combines it. It drains the battery and, excuse me, pulls power from the car. I'll take it because the battery drains fairly slow. I think I could probably get 2 to 3 hours on the battery. Well, I'll see here. I think when I plugged it in, I was looking at like about 80% when I started up the video, and then I'll see how long it goes and how much I have left and do a little bit of math there. I'm assuming it's about 2 to 3 hours, which is good. I actually had ordered myself some cheap Chinese batteries along with a battery charger, which I never had before. So I'll see. It was very cheap. I don't expect those to last very long. Like if I get 45 minutes to an hour out of one of those batteries while plugged in, I'll be pretty happy. Not gonna lie. We are sitting at this light. But pretty soon, I think we'll be back into a little more aggressive driving. I'm going to make a left here on the Georgetown Pike, 193. And then at the next light, which is a couple hundred meters down the road, we make a right onto, I actually don't know the name of that road. Ad Hoc Road? That's not right. Whatever. Whatever it is. Okay. It's nice trying to do a little vlog here while driving. It's a little different than my other format. I feel the same kind of tension. But for me, like, driving is so much more chill, right, than riding. A lot less things to pay attention to, in my opinion, right? Because I can't really influence the car with my body position, and my brakes are a lot better. And it's not even so much that the brakes are better in a car; it's that the brakes are just easier to use, right? With a bike, you honestly have to have a decent level of technique to get the bike to really freaking stop. And you know what I mean? You got to use your hand and your foot as well together to really affect it. Whereas with a car, you just slam on the brakes, screw it. Like, there'll be some level of, you know, betterness there, but, you know, there'll be some level of like better braking if you use threshold braking, sure, but we're not talking about monstrous differences, really. It always comes down to how early you're able to get on the brakes, right? When you're making an emergency stop. Not about like on a racetrack situation, but when you're making an emergency stop. But yeah, it is that time of day. It is that time of day. And the construction vehicle and the bus are going the way I'm going. And this guy. So what are you going to do? I can't have it all here on a Monday afternoon, can I? Yeah, I'm definitely going to keep these guys a little bit ahead of me. No need to, stick up behind that guy like that guy in that red vehicle there. Like, holy shit, dude. What are you going to do that far or that close to that truck? Oh, there he goes. Now he's giving it some space. Like, all you're going to accomplish being that close is picking up some stones onto your car. Look at it kicking shit up, Hopefully he's not going too far. Yeah, construction entrance ahead. See? Yeah, good. And that's going to separate me from the school bus. What are they doing over here? It looks like they're building a house. Doesn't look like they've even really built anything. They're just doing the land. Well, these guys want to drive a little bit, huh? You don't see that every day. Most of the time back here, people are going like brutally slow. I mean, we're not going fast by any stretch of the imagination, but most of the time it's brutal back here if you get stuck behind a car. I'm getting to this point now where I don't have too much to say, huh? I guess I should bring up if I miss riding, right? I mean, do I miss riding? I don't know. At this point, honestly, I kind of don't. Maybe like a little bit sometimes, but like right now, no. I think I do miss, riding with my friends a little. But even that, I mean, I don't know. It's nice and all, but it's hard to explain, at least for me. I feel like I got a lot out of riding that I wanted to, and that the part I like about it most was getting better at it. Just like kind of how I said in the video, like that still really rings true just, a few months later. Yeah, the thing I liked most about riding really was like the skill aspect of it, and I reached this level of like plateau where I was going to need to really do a lot to improve, but then also my situation in life has made it so doing that isn't really feasible. So like, in my opinion, if I'm not like really loving riding, like I don't see why I would do it. It just it's not safe, And I'm not saying like, oh, don't ride. I just mean it. If you're not gonna love it, then like, why take the risk? Like, what am I getting out of that level of risk if I'm not like loving it? I got one more car ahead of me, and I'm assuming he lives back here. Most of the time, people enjoy riding in a. What am I trying to say? Most of the time, people enjoy riding in a BMW SUV. That's the kind of vehicle there that people, mall crawler. No, that's not the right word. It's a soccer mom thing, picking up kids and stuff. We got a nice tight turn coming up here, though. Oh, yeah. Just being silly. Just being silly. Yeah, and of course, lots of hills. This is like where I always would take people when I'm riding with them for like the first time. Because there's some turns, there's some hills, you know, you can get a good sense kind of looking in your mirrors. You can get a good sense looking in your mirrors for kind of how someone likes to ride. This guy's like, he's hitting the gas, huh? He is hitting the gas. Maybe he is cruising. I like this guy's pace. Guy, I keep saying guy. I like this driver's pace. Could be a lady. Yeah. Having a little fun, huh? For me, like, I got no intentions on a road like this of going anywhere near the car's limits. Like, that's just asinine. I always talk about that in the bike videos, and it's the same with a car. Like, I actually will say it's even more important in a car to not go beyond your sight lines. Because otherwise, yeah, you're really asking for some bad shit to happen. When something unexpected goes down, you know? I'm gonna sit here for a couple seconds. Ah, yeah, hill hold assist. Ooh. Heard a little bit of a pop there. What was that? The car is feeling a little fresher. I wonder where that guy's going, cruising in his minivan. Perhaps. But he is cruising at a quite slow pace, which is kind of sad. It's making me want to slow down a little so that I can at least try to go more than 2 miles an hour here. Do this little turn. This is a fun little turn here. All right. The little slingshot effect. Now I'm right on him. Not a surprise there. Not the surprise. Now we're back at the intersection where I had to back out of it again. So we'll see where this guy ends up going. Is he going to turn right? Or is he going to turn left? He's going to turn left, so I'm going to turn right here by this fancy Frenchy place, which I still need to go to. L'Ambroise Francois or something. I have no idea how to say any of those words. Let's maybe have me shut up a little and we can enjoy some car sounds. Never There's only so much you can do, right? And another school bus. Not surprised. But I do think I can make a left here. Oh, that school bus is making a left, so, it's like I'm screwed either way, huh? Man. Well, no. He's going straight. Okay. Might have one more little chance here at going a little fast, but then, yeah, I'm going to be heading back. I'm probably cutting the video off. It's been quite a long time. One thing I got to remember to do is see how badly out of sync these things get. A little clap. But let me shut up for a sec. To bomb over this hill. Yeah, having a little fun is always fun. Oops, well, that's the end of that, huh? I think I bored y'all enough. Because I know I'm going to be stuck behind this guy all the way out to Route 7 here. And then from there I'm heading back home. Yeah, I mean, if you've been watching this, I appreciate it, I guess. I mean, of course, I don't make these things as a career. I'm not giving really informational advice. What I'm doing is, well, honestly, I'm doing therapy. And not even driving therapy, it's talking therapy, right? I'm sitting out here talking to myself, essentially writing out a diary, except it's on video. It's a video diary. It's what I always thought these vlogs were supposed to be. And that's not what they have become. At least with, you know, the ones that people actually watch, because this shit is boring. Come on, guys. If you're watching this, you have nothing better to do. That's okay. I certainly have nothing better to do than drive the speed limit-ish in my, you know, slightly faster than a Prius car. And, yeah, what else can I say? I still have a mantra. If you've watched it this far, maybe I need a mantra. Think about your driving is not going to be the mantra. That's stupid. I don't care. Everyone, you know, riding and driving are a different thing, you know. This is a very different thing. I don't know. I really can't. I feel like one day I can think of something. Be good to yourself would be nice, but I'm not sure if that's really a mantra. Stay the hell away from trucks with dust blowing out of the back of them would be another one, like this one in front of me. Yeah, what can I say? What can I say?